Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. I hope everyone is doing well tonight, and we're all absorbing the shock of what happened with losing an American icon, and it is truly a worldwide mourning for the iconic individual known as Dolly Parton. So. We're going to talk about her. We're going to reflect on her legacy, and we're going to talk about what's going on in our country and around the world. We had a trip by Ratcliffe, head of the CIA, unannounced visit to Ruski Land. That and a lot of things going on with our justice system, trials, and we're going to see what road our country's on, I suppose, as we walk through history together. So anyway, folks, what do? I play videos and give people time to come in and get a cup of coffee, a nice cold bruja, or an adult beverage of your choice. I'm going to play a little flashback video from Donald Trump, because if you'll notice, with all these things going on, he stays focused. He keeps moving. He knows life goes on. He honors those who have passed, but he also takes care of the present. And to understand the present, you got to look at the past sometimes. But anyway, I'm going to play some videos, and what are we going to do? We're going to be like butter and get on a roll.
In and out, but I'll be back. As you know, there have been 2 assassination attempts on my life that we know of, and they may or may not involve, but possibly do, Iran. But I don't really know, can't be sure, because in the first case in Butler, Pennsylvania, great place. And we're going back to Butler, by the way. We're going to go back and finish our speech. The FBI has been unable to open the 3 potentially foreign-based apps. And in the second case, the assassin had 6 cell phones in his car, yet the FBI has likewise been unable to penetrate their guard. Shouldn't be tough to do. They want to know. The world wants to know, who is he calling? Who is he calling? In the old days, the FBI and the DOJ used to capture people before anything happened. In current days, the upper echelon of the FBI is sitting presidents, political opponents. That's what they're doing. They spend so much time. We won the case in Florida. It's all a big scam. It's all against a political opponent, me, who's doing better in the polls than anybody else and should be hopefully able to recapture the presidency in 41 days and make our country great again. But all they focus on is their political opponent. But they must get Apple to open these foreign apps, and they must get Apple to likewise open the 6 phones from the second lunatic, who's a lunatic, and open them immediately, because we have a lot at stake, whether it's me or any other former president. They break into apps all the time. They had no problem breaking into the apps of the J6 hostages. They broke into those apps, and they could be Iran-based, they could also be something else, but we'll never know until they're opened, and they got to get them opened. And really, why is it that the father of the shooter in the Butler instance has one of the best and most expensive lawyers in the entire state of Pennsylvania? How did he get to this expensive lawyer, big law firm, the biggest in Pittsburgh? Where did he get this big law firm from? It's sort of strange. If I were president and a former president and a leading candidate, I'm the leading candidate by far to be the next president. And that leading candidate was under threat. If I was president and the candidate was under threat, any candidate, Republican or Democrat, and by the way, I want to thank the Democrats because they just increased funding for the Secret Service, who work very hard. They increased funding for the Secret Service, and nobody will believe this. It was a unanimous vote. Republicans, every single Republican, every single Democrat present voted in favor. That was the first unanimous vote we've seen in a long time, and that's to increase the funding of the Secret Service. So I thank everybody in Congress. But if I were the president, I would inform the threatening country, in this case Iran, that if you do anything to harm this person, we are going to blow your largest cities and the country itself to smithereens. We're going to blow it to smithereens. You can't do that.
The storm's on.
Yes, sir.
I'm wondering what storm you're talking about.
Tried to take down the wrong person.
He's absolutely going to come back with full vengeance the next time around.
Well, think about what 4 years of a retribution presidency might look like. Our Constitution really does give the president tremendous power to destroy. This will be something we could never have imagined. Now the gloves are off.
Some of Trump's close political allies told him they are working on figuring out the identities of the FBI and DOJ staff and forming lists.
I will direct a completely overhauled DOJ to investigate every radical DA and AG in America for their illegal, racist enforcement of the law. The deep state is destroying our nation, but the tables must turn and we will quickly destroy the deep state. We know where the bodies are buried. There are a lot of people out there that have done some very, very evil things, very bad things, I would say treasonous things against our country. People that have done such harm to our country. I've been looking at them for a long time.
He could order the investigation and prosecution of individuals who he perceives as enemies.
Put them all in jail where they belong. You gotta get tough and smart, and you have to fight fire with fire. You can't allow this to go on. And I will be the one to clean it up. I am your retribution. We will take care of it. We will take care of it.
Hi, folks. Thank you for joining me tonight. Yeah, I got a lot of people coming in and out, in and out. Well, I don't know. We'll get by. We'll get by. Yadala has passed away, and I have a video from her. She put up 5 days before she passed. 5 days. And, you know, we've got a lot of stuff shaking and moving right now with the CIA visit to Ruski land, and also Secret Service agents being suspended. Action on the Iran front. Hi, Robert. How you doing? Sissy, nice to see you. Ima, how you doing? Oh, nice to see you. Miss Mindersue. Wow, my chats should go crazy. They jump around on me. Nice to see you, Miss Mindersue. Let's see. Oh, my goodness. There's Roland. How you doing, Roland? Sparky. Wayne's here. All right. Nice to see you. Darla. Kim's here. Robert's here. Let's see. Todd. Nice to see you, Todd. Let's see. Brett. Nice to see you, Brett. All right, my screen is a little hinky, but hopefully that doesn't reflect on how the broadcast is going to go. Sometimes it settles in, smooths out, you know what I mean? Let's hope that's the case. Gary, I got to give Gary some booms for dropping a Moab at Buy Me a Coffee. I'll get through my Pappy Two Bears. How you doing? Gary takes a pulse once in a while. He keeps his ear to the ground. What's going on here on the Mountain Man 2 channel? Mac, nice to see you. All right. You know, sometimes I worry when I don't hear from some of my regulars. And because of stuff like this, you know, with Dolly, and precious time, right? And it makes you reflect what a big part of everyone's lives she was. And what a wonderful example she set. A life well lived. And that's, you know, what we should all strive for. Hi, Rain, how are you? And that's what she did. She succeeded in having a singular life. She was a singular woman. I wasn't a crazy fan for her, but I did enjoy her music. I thought highly of her, and she sang "I Will Always Love You." What was it? 20 years before Whitney Houston. And I had a friend of mine that an older friend, and he's passed away, but he didn't know that. He didn't know that Dolly Parton sang "I Will Always Love You" years and years before Whitney Houston. And he hung out with Patsy Cline. He was a country music fan, and he didn't know that. He thought Whitney Houston wrote the song. So I was like, man, I thought she was more country than me, if that could be possible. So anyway, how many of y'all knew that? Miss Mendersu said she was a satanic witch. Oh my word. Dolly Parton, she was faithful to her husband. He was had a debilitating illness, and she took care of him the last years of his life. I watched a video from a doctor from Sloan Kettering, leading cancer research facility, and I guess in the world, Sloan Kettering. I had a friend to go to Sloan Kettering that was struggling with lung cancer years ago, and he said that, you know, 60-year marriage, you lose a loved one like she did. She lost him last year. Takes a toll and can even trigger a event like that. Hi, Wanda. How are you doing? So I don't know, Miss Menderson. I've never heard that anything about her moral fiber or anything. I remember when she performed in 2023 at Thanksgiving. I think I played that video of her singing in 2023, and her husband was pretty much bedridden at this time, or very close to it, and I think it was one of her last public performances. No, well, she stayed out of stuff. Did she donate millions of dollars to the jab? I don't recall that. Let me play this video for you. I didn't know that. I didn't know that she. I know that she bought books for every child, one book age appropriate a month, from kindergarten to the 5th grade, for everybody in her hometown. That's how it started. Once a month, every kid got a book to read from Dolly Parton. And by the time she passed, that program had grown to nationwide and even worldwide. And they ended up giving away 300 plus million books to kids. Like I said, age appropriate. I always thought of her as somebody who kept her marriage honest. And here's where I'll play this video for you. Here's where some rude, what do they call them over there in the UK? Presenter tries to get her to say something bad about Trump.
We have a president of the United States who said those things on that bus.
I'm not addressing that. I do not get into that. Of course, I have my opinion about everybody and everything. But I learned a long time ago, keep your damn mouth shut if you want to stay in show business. I'm not in politics. I'm an entertainer.
And yet, you're also a role model.
Yes, I am. That's why I don't talk about people. So if you are deciding you may want to ask me something more serious, don't, because I'm not going to answer it.
Fair one. I might still ask.
Well, you can ask, but I might still tell you where to put it if I don't know where you got it.
So, I see what's being said in the chats. The overall, the personality. Then let's say this. The personality and the legacy of this entity. How about that? Of the entity is a positive one. I don't change the words of Jolene to vaccine. She did. Oh. I'm just looking at the chat, folk. She wrote the song for Porter Wagner. Wanda said, "I will always love you." And we got some, you think Dolly was involved in a dread and then a chrome? Oh my. Roland said he loves all happy-go-lucky women. But her image was wholesome. Whether or not people have the behind-the-scenes thoughts on her, but I perceive the image to be wholly American and wholesome. And what is the effect that the person's image and what they portray have on our society? One thing that I did not know, and then I do have misgivings, was that I did not know she was Miley Cyrus's godmother. Hi, Rebecca. That gave me pause. Dolly was more than just an extraordinary entertainer. She lived a life of gratitude, faith, and giving back. Dolly was an unwavering patriot and a tireless supporter of our heroes in uniform. So, those we trust the most, you think? Is that what you're thinking, folks? I want to play this clip she made just before she passed. And, after it happens, you say, I watched the video, and then they say, oh, well, you could tell there's something wrong. But that's after the shock, if you will, of the passing. You say to yourself, oh, she must have known something. But that's not always the case, right? Maybe 48 hours would be 4 days, 5 days before she passed. She couldn't make it to an award, but she put a video up. And this is it.
Dolly here, and I just want to send a very special thank you to the Academy of Country Music for honoring me with the Poets Award. You know, I've been able to do many things throughout my life, but at my core, songwriting has always been the most important part of who I am creatively. Every dream I ever had, and all the dreams that I've been able to see come true in life, well, they all started with a song. Songwriting has been my therapy. Songwriting has been my release, my joy. Songwriting has been a gift from God that has allowed me to touch people with words and music. So thank you, God, and thank you, fans around the world, and everyone at ACM's for giving me this very special award.
So that was her last broadcast to the public. And she thanked God for it, and she, it doesn't look like she would smoke if you put a cross in front of her. Oh my. Yeah, I'm reading some of the, hi Cole, how you doing? I'm reading some of the chats. So here's another video. Now it was obvious she was having a little trouble with her speech. And obviously she was very sick. So what's this one? Oh, I haven't watched this yet. Now this isn't a very good look, being on the Howard Stern show. But she tells a story about Elvis. And I read into the intro, Mr. Kibler. Yeah, Jelly Roll. Yeah, he mouthed off today. I could have got a clip of that, and it just makes me sick. Jelly Roll. He should have just kept his yap shut. Nobody cares. But anyway, here, what she met Elvi?
Who, of course, you idolize, I'm sure.
Yep.
Elvis Presley wanted to record that song, I Will Always Love You. He loved the song. And you told him no. It's so fascinating to me. This guy, Colonel Tom, who was Elvis's manager or whatever you want to call him, Colonel Tom says, Dolly, but you got to give me the publishing. What a crazy move. So you told Colonel Tom no, right? How'd that all go down?
Well, I was so excited that Elvis was going to record the song, and Elvis's producer at the time, he had called and asked me to come down to the studio. He said, Elvis wants to meet you, and he's going to record I Will Always Love You, and I was out of my mind with excitement, of course. I mean, just me thinking about Elvis singing my song, and it was the night before, the afternoon before the session the next day that Colonel Tom had called and said, you know that we don't record anything with Elvis unless we have the publishing, or at least half the publishing. And I said, well, that's not possible because that is my most important copyright. I got my own publishing company, and that's, I said, I can't do that. He said, well, at least you got to give us half. And I said, I can't do that. And so he said, well, then we can't record it. Of course, I cried all night about that. But it was only after Whitney recorded, I was so thankful that I had made that choice because I made a lot of money off of Whitney's.
Oh, yeah. I can't even believe this story I heard about with Whitney. That is it true? You heard it on the radio for the first time?
I did. I was coming home from my office from downtown on Music Row to my home in Brentwood, and I was driving at the time. I had my Cadillac. It's just like a dog, hearing a whistle. I was saying, what? It's like it was ringing some sort of a bell, but it didn't dawn on me. By the time I realized it, she was ready to go into the chorus. And then when she started that, I almost wrecked. Honest to God, had to pull over to the side at a Walgreens, there in Brentwood, where the Walgreens is now, and to listen to the rest of it. And it was the most overwhelming sensation because I couldn't believe my little country sad song, could even be done like that. But to hear it like that, and it was just overwhelming. That was one of the greatest experiences I've ever had in my entire life.
That's the Whitney Houston version, okay? And then, of course, when we hear your version. Unbelievably, one of the greatest love songs of all time. I know the backstory. That Porter Wagner guy, you were like working with him on television. The guy's a lovely guy, gave you a break. You were a young woman. On TV with him.
There's a Porter Wagner. Now, I'm a little tripped up here. She wrote the song. There's Porter Wagner. That's the guy she wrote. She stuck with her husband they met at the wishy-washy wishy-washy laundromat. I didn't know she messed around with, hey, anything to do with Porter Wagner. Let's listen to it.
And you said, no, I've got to leave. You tell him goodbye in a love song. It's fucking brilliant.
Well, thank you. Well, there's a lot more to that story. Porter and I were, we were like oil and water. We loved each other. It was like one of those love-hate relationships. But I was stubborn. He was stubborn. But I had come to Nashville, to be my own star. I really felt like I needed to move on. I didn't want to spend the rest of my life being a girl singer. I knew my destiny. I knew that I had to continue doing what I felt led and drawn to do. So the thing I can do best is to write. So I went home after I had finally made my decision that I'm going, no matter what, I'm going. And so I wrote the song, I Will Always Love You. And I take it back the next morning. And I said, Porter, sit down. I got something I need to sing to you. And so I sang the song.
Alone Porter in his office.
In his office, just me and my guitar. And he was just sitting behind his desk and tears started rolling down. He said, that's the best song you ever wrote. And you can go if I can produce the song. So...
What did he say? You can go, but I keep the dog. Is that what he said? I'll have to listen to that again. I understood her and her husband were married for almost 60 years, and she died at 80. She got married when she was 20, Oh, boy. Well, as far as American icon goes, her image, her legacy is distinctly country, distinctly American. As far as celebrity, what would you call it? Shell games where they change people out, like this guy here, Tim Curry, passed away at the age of 80. I did not know some of the roles he played. I've seen him in some movies that had funny themes to him, and he's been in memes. But I want to show you an example. What movies do you all know this guy played in? Tim Curry. He's not like a top tier A-list actor, but everybody knows his face. Let me see if I can find that one. It shows. Here he is. Let me move this so I can see the chats. What movies did he play in that you all know of? And then I will show you some of his movies. Hi, Benjamin. Because I was sitting here thinking, reading the chats, everybody knows that Hollywood's got its problems, right? With an antanic business, right? Now, he is 80 years old. I had no idea. I've never seen the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I've never seen it. I'm like, why would I want to look at some guy in a dress or whatever he's wearing But here he is, Tim Curry, 1946 to 2026. A brilliant talent who gave us laughter, chills, and unforgettable performances that live on forever. I didn't care for either of those movies. I've never seen It, and I've never seen Rocky Horror Picture Show. And I had no idea it was him. As a matter of fact, I remember, when was Rocky Horror Picture Show? That was in the 70s, wasn't it? That was back in the 70s? Clue. Yeah, he was in Clue. Roland's got buffering. That was probably the most mainstream thing that he had done. Well, Trump ordered flags at half-staff for her and put out a tribute to her that she was one of a kind. Well, I'm off my rhythm now with here, which I guess would bolster what a lot of people are thinking and feeling. Buckingham Palace. King Charles gave a tribute to her today. Now, I'm interrupting because if you watch after this live stream and this segment is gone, what it is, because if they give me a copyright, I got to edit it out. That's PIA, pain in the ankle, right? But anyway, you got the Royal Band playing 9 to 5. That's what it is in case it get taken out. Yeah, 9 to 5. A lot of people like that movie. I didn't care for that movie. I mean, it was a comedy and all that, but the general theme was to get the male boss and hang him up in the air, and everybody that works for a living is getting ripped off. It was kind of anti-capitalist, but it was tongue-in-cheek. I didn't care for it. Yeah, debauchery, that Rocky Horror I had. You're right, Benjamin. Hunt for Red October. That's the one I was trying to think of. I had a picture of him in my mind with Sean Connery. And why the hell I didn't automatically think of Hunt for Red October. That's a good one to remember there, Benjamin. Yeah, who else put that in? Benjamin put that in twice. When the movie Grease Cat came out. I remember that. Olivia Newton-John. He was in McHale's Navy? Yeah, I'll never watch Rocky Horror Picture Show. I have no desire to see that. I have absolutely no desire to see any male in what is it, stockings or whatever he's wearing. Yeah, Hunt for Red October is a great movie. I've seen that like 3 times. I might watch it again. But as far as I've been watching people on YouTube that I've watched for a while, and have any of you all ever seen on YouTube Rice Cup Family? Rice Cup Family, spelled with 2 P's, CUPP, Rice Cup Family. It's a cute little channel where they put up life experiences and their little daughter who is a Dolly Parton fan, and she's only like, I don't know, 7 or 8, I guess, I don't know, and she was joking around on one video. She said, her mom said, I'm a hillbilly. She said, you're a hillbilly? She said, yeah, I'm a hillbilly from the Philippines. Your daddy's a hillbilly from America. So 2 hillbillies got married, and we had you. And the little girl's sitting there making a face, and she goes, well, that's okay, because now I'm like Dolly Parton because my parents are hillbillies. So, the kids look up to him as a role model, somebody who, the lyrics of the song and stuff like that. And the message about God. And did you ever hear her sing the song He's Alive? Dolly Parton? At least that's who they credit it to. So anyway, I'm looking to see if anybody knows what channel I'm talking about. I just felt overall, the things we're discussing in the chats aside, the average person who doesn't, who just listens to the radio, they watch movies, and compared to artists of today's standards, her overall message was country music, gospel. Now, I'm just saying what's coming out to the public, okay? An American way of life, country living, stuff like that. Well, John Wayne, always be my hero. And yeah. And Clint Eastwood, I don't think he fell into that stuff. I think he knows about it, but I don't think he fell into that stuff. But anyway, I've gone on too long with the Dolly Parton thing. But anyway, let's get into what's going on. Let me see. Yeah, there's a lot. Hi, Kim. Yeah, Roland, she always talked about God. And whatever hit her fast. Look at this. Remember this guy? Alleged 9/11 mastermind's long-awaited trial scheduled for 2028. Remember Catherine Herridge talking about Gitmo courtrooms? Yes. Catherine Herridge is in the news right now. I'll talk about her probably tomorrow a little bit. She's going before the Supreme Court over her being fined $800. I think it's $800 a day by a judge, so-called judge. But anyway, the self-proclaimed mastermind of 9/11 attacks will stand trial in June of 2028. A military judge ruled Wednesday, nearly 25 years after the attacks. Khalid Sheikh Mohammed has been held at Guantanamo Bay since 2003. What do you think of the timing of that, folks? It's going to start during Trump's final year as president. And get him off the screen because I want to get into Ratcliffe. Where did that go? Oh, holy carriers, get out of here. Here we go. What do y'all think of this? CIA chief flies to Moscow for unannounced talks. Nobody knew. He was airborne. He was there by the time it even got disclosed. That's why I put TIPPY top secret in my thumbnail. Ruski News said there were no direct contacts between President Putin and the director of the CIA. Communications with the director of the CIA was conducted through intelligence agencies, and Putin was informed about the meetings and the results of the negotiations, according to Peskov. There are different reports. This is still the same crux report. CIA Director John Ratcliffe has reportedly traveled to Moscow for unannounced talks, according to CBS. In a rare visit by a senior U.S. official to Russia, a U.S. C-17 military transport. You know, you wonder why a C-17? They brought their own vehicles. Transport aircraft were tracked from the U.S. via Latvia before landing in Moscow and later returning. Neither government has confirmed the trip's purpose or meetings. Ukraine was reportedly asked to suspend strikes during the visit, while Ratcliffe is believed to have maintained contact with Russian intelligence counterparts since taking office. That reminds me of the Helsinki press conference where Putin disclosed that intelligence officials got hundreds of millions of dollars for the Clinton campaign. And that was when John Brennan accused Trump of treason for talking to Putin, even though it was an open press conference in front of the worldwide press. And the U.S. media and the cabal media overseas focused on the fact that Trump didn't punch Putin or curse him or whatever. They didn't say a word about Hillary Clinton. They didn't say a word about criminal activity of U.S. intel agents. And I'll have to get that and play it. Here's how APT put it out. John Ratcliffe arrives in Moscow in first CIA chief visit to Russia since 2021. Now, this could be any number of things. That's another reason why I played the video at the beginning. Who were these assassins talking to? Apple needs to open those apps up. They opened them up for the J6 people. And it was announced today that Apple has invested another $30 billion into American industry. And you have this director of CIA going to Russia and having face-to-face talks. But anyway, he arrived aboard a U.S. military aircraft on Tuesday, according to reports by CBS News correspondent Jennifer Jacobs, with a U.S. official also confirming the visit to Axios. The reported trip marks the first visit by a CIA agent since 2021, when Washington was seeking clarity over Moscow's intentions over a major Russian military buildup near Ukraine. They're talking about Biden, the Biden presidency. They went over there. It remains unclear whom Ratcliffe is meeting in Moscow or what is the agenda. The Kremlin has said it has no information. Oh, I think they have information. And other reports put it out there as if this was some manner of confrontation. And I don't agree with that at all. Let me find another. Here we go. According to Ukrainian media reports, CIA Director John Ratcliffe discussed with Russian officials a mutual cessation of strikes by Russia and Ukraine against energy infrastructure and ports. The discussions also reportedly covered a ceasefire in the Sumy and Kharkiv regions, as well as further steps toward resolving the conflict. Now, wait a second. You couldn't handle that over the phone? They had to take a C-17 cargo plane. I have a clip of they had to take a C-17 cargo plane over to Russia and bring their own vehicles. Here's the convoy. This is a citizen filming Ratcliffe's motorcade go by that came off the C-17s.
Американцы прилетели на переговоры.
А как вы определили?
Машина Министерства американского и плюс новости о том, что военный самолет прилетел во Внуково 1,5 часа назад.
Okay, so we're going to take a C-17, load up all those vehicles, and show up without announcement, no fanfare, not even speak to Putin, talking about a ceasefire in Sumy region and all this other stuff. You buying that? I'm not buying it. Let me see what this is. Oh, this is about Iran. The Pakistani delegation. Because there's been stuff going on. Here's something else the Russian media put out. The U.S. Embassy in Moscow has removed the American flag following CIA Director John Ratcliffe's unannounced 4-hour visit. So a lot of people are going, oh, what does that mean? They made us take our flag down at the embassy? And again, all that effort for a 4-hour visit. I think it was some very big decisions made. I think it was highly sensitive, and they couldn't trust regular forms of communication. It had to be face-to-face and with secure communications and in skiffs over in Russia. Whatever they're going to discuss, it's big. I think it's big. And I think this is simply with the flag. Trump ordered the flags to be at half-staff for Dolly Parton. It's for every American facility around the world. And this photograph might have just been taken when they were bringing the flag in to adjust it for where they would put it at half-staff, or if it wasn't possible for the design of the flagpole to do it at half-staff, just take it down. I don't think it's because of any battle with Putin or anything like that. Because remember that investigation that is going on over in Ukraine. The corruption investigation, where top people have been removed from their positions, and it's an ongoing investigation. Where did I see that? Zelensky's former deputy chief of staff, Irina Mudra, has been ordered into 60 days of pretrial detention in a money laundering case involving an alleged $3.3 million scheme linked to bail for ex-energy minister German Galushenko. Energy ministry, folks. Remember what Hunter was on the board of an energy company getting $80,000 a month? And Romney's son working for an energy company in Ukraine? And don't forget the BIO labs. How come our media isn't reporting this? This has never happened before. Not during wars, not during pandemics. For the first time, below replacement level, according to the study. Terra Incognita, the economics of a shrinking world. The study said that 219 of the 236 nations it looked at are seeing a decline in fertility, mainly in the low and middle income areas, as well as among less well-off and educated women. I don't want to wear it out, but I'll play this for you again, especially for people just tuning in. I mean, we're right now dealing with a trial with a woman who ended her own children's lives. And Dr. Fauci, what was his goal?
An 82% miscarriage rate with women who got the injection in the first, second trimester. I mean, that is shocking. And they knew it. They knew it. They're not that stupid. They're just that devious.
You couple that with this report that isn't being put out in American media. Never happened before. Yeah, Bill Clinton, his 80th birthday was a couple of days ago, right? He's on his way out. Hi, Jetlag, how you doing? I got to tell you, I'm surprised that I'm broadcasting. I thought I was going to get in trouble. Remember I told you all I played that video? It could happen at any time, folks. You never know when the The rhythm is going to get you. Remember that song? Who was that? Gloria Estefan? Don't tell me she's bad. Not Gloria Estefan. The rhythm is going to get you. Because I played Spencer Pratt's video. And it's been taken down on TikTok. Did you all know that? And I said last night, I said, if I'm not here, you know where I'm going to be. And then I find out the next day, TikTok took his video down. And I played it. Said it violated the term. I'm trying to find where it says they took his video down. Also going on, 3 employees of the U.S. Secret Service, including its Director of Communications, Anthony Guglielmi, I don't know how to say that name, have been temporarily suspended from their duties as a result of an internal investigation, CNN reported, citing sources. According to the report, the employees have been denied access to classified information and official devices. That means their official devices have been seized. Okay, that's a nice way of saying it. The specific violations they are suspected of have not been disclosed. I would venture to say that they're under house arrest or very heavily monitored every step they make. Here he is. There's a picture of him right there. Top Secret Service spokesman, 2 others placed on leave, stripped of security clearances amid leak probe. The agency said Tuesday that 3 non-law enforcement employees had been placed on leave while its Office of Professional Responsibility conducts a review. Listen, when you're a government employee, all right, especially on the top, up at the top, and you get yanked out of your chair, out of your office, it's serious. Remember this? Hegseth firing people from the Stars and Stripes. The Department of Defense has fired Laura Corte, a Middle East reporter, for insubordination. Hegseth is cleaning house. No rats in this administration. Do you agree with this? Of course I agree with it. But remember, he fired 3 people from Stars and Stripes, and everybody was raising hell about it. Oh, it's freedom of the press. Not if you're being a traitor, it's not. So anyway, there was a post that I saw. Now listen to me, this is important. There was a post I saw on 20 people drop off. I say, listen to me, it's important. 20 people drop off, I swear to God. There was a post by Department of Homeland Security with a picture of Donald Trump. Did anybody in the chat see it? It was a picture of Donald Trump, and it said, "Have you been loyal?" I saw it. And it was reposted with a smart aleck Twitter response across the actual post. Something like that. Well, who'll be loyal to you? And I said, oh, I'm going to get the clean version of that. Because I think it's a signal. Have you been loyal? Picture of Donald Trump posted by Department of Homeland Security. Well, guess what? They took it down. Department of Homeland Security took it down. And I said, oh, man, I need to go back and get even the one they put the stupid tweet over top of because I want to show that post to my audience, right? I went back to the site, and it's gone. I can't find it. Roland saw it. It was up temporarily, and it was reported on Ruski News that the post was put up, but they did not have a copy of it. I thought I got a screenshot. I may not have. But if I did, it's gone out of my device, which we know they can do. So I said, oh, man, what do I do? Well, I go to the CUE post and I put in a word. Loyal. What do I get? I get a picture of a flag. Media keywords, American flag. Pentagon official resigns. This was, I think, in 2018. Those loyal to our Constitution, Constitutional Republic, and our command structure. Those loyal to the office of the president and the will of the people. Those who swore an oath to protect and defend against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Those good people who serve proudly for America. Castle Rock. For God and country. For those of you who've been with me for a long time, how many times have I said, wait to hear about Castle Rock? And nobody knew what I was talking about. How many of you all heard me say Castle Rock? It's in the CUE post, Castle_Rock. And if you do remember, what does Castle Rock, from my deducing, what does that represent? Having a little class here. How many remember, Sparky remembers, he's saying, remember you're going to, Mac saw that post too. Yeah. So it was just a picture of Donald Trump and have you been loyal? So while y'all are cogitating on the Castle Rock and what do I think it means, yeah, I heard that rumor too, Roland. King George says he is the protector of all faiths now, not just the protector of the Church of England, because the word on the street is he's now a Muslim, right? And people are like, what? But anyway, while you're cogitating on that, Donald Trump posted this today without any comment. The autist in you. What a post by Department of Homeland Security. Have you been loyal? This post with Donald Trump and the flag. CUE posts with the word loyal and the American flag. No comment about the flag, just the flag. Donald Trump posting himself in front of the American flag. These are signals, folks. It's plain as the nose on your face. Signals to the White Hats. Something's going down. The trip by Ratcliffe. And Castle Rock refers to when the Secret Service opened up a new hub or branch or office in Castle Rock. All right? And the Secret Service just suspended 3 of its top people. The same day. Same day to Have You Been Loyal put out. The same day. Trump puts up a picture of him with the flag. And the CUE post with the word loyal, chain of command, and picture of the American flag. Things are coming together. People will say I'm crazy, and I'm not doing numbers games. I'm not trying to take letters and turn them into upside down. I'm just saying what I remember, what I see, and what's happening now. And right there it is. Out of 5,000 posts nearly, I said to watch for the word Castle Rock. I did not look for this post because of the words Castle Rock. I looked it up because of the word loyal, and there it is. Refers to the Secret Service, and then you have a major shakeup at the Secret Service. At the same time, the head of the CIA is going to meet with Putin, Putin's representatives. They can say, all right, whatever. And they didn't do all that for just a 4-hour meeting to talk about Ukraine. You guys think I'm crazy or what? Oh my, they showed him, oh yeah. Yeah, they think, yeah, Mr. Minister, they think he is. They think he is. Yeah, I've been talking so long. A lot of folks have been putting a lot of stuff in the chats we talked about too. But anyway, I put a link in the chats for Buy Me a Coffee, and I want to thank Gary for going by. Pow! Going by, Buy Me a Coffee and dropping a Moab. And I do appreciate it. Like I said, he keeps his finger on the pulse, knows what's going on. Yeah. And Wayne, coming by, kapow, kapow, kapow. Buy me a coffee. Capped off last week, and I missed it, and I didn't catch it till later on. Pow! Thank you, Roland. He finished up last week. So anyway, I do appreciate it. Anybody wants to help the channel out, there's a link in the chats to Buy Me a Coffee. If you want to go by there and take a look at the site. There we go. Ha ha. Cole's putting in a bunch of booms. Yes, Miss Mendersu, we thought we have heard word on the street that he has converted. And there is so much going on, not just with these, the CIA trip, the press with Stars and Stripes getting summarily fired, the Secret Service agents getting suspended. We got the SPLC being indicted. Here's someone put this up. 2022 riots, 23, 24, 25, riots. 2026, SPLC indicted, Act Blue under investigation, USA defunded. No riots. Ain't that something? Here's something Trump put up. No offense. No, the White House. No offense, Roland. But they put a eagle on a goose. Canadian goose, I suspect. President Trump is finally ending Canada's free ride. You know, look at this. Occupied demon rats. We need the names of all the people on the board of the Kennedy Center. We will not forget them. God will not forget them. What the hell are they talking about? The damn place is falling apart. Trump's trying to fix it up. Now they want, what, to harass members of the board of the Kennedy Center? I could go on about these judges. They're constantly throwing roadblocks up. Constantly. But we're constantly battling them. Clandestine. Put this up. Keep in mind, Chinese President Xi Jinping is scheduled to visit Trump in D.C. next month between September 23rd and 25th. Well, that answers my question. It'll be after Trump goes to Scotland. He's going to Scotland, I think, on the 11th, 12th, and 13th. So anyway, I think those are dates. But before Xi Jinping. This comes after Trump just revealed intelligence of CCP interference in 2020. This meeting comes 6 weeks from the 2026 midterms. There's some dots here to connect. You know, the big board, I mean, must be really amazing. And you have to be a genius to keep up with it all. But look here, somebody named Resist. See what they like. See what makes them cheer. MAGA farmers are going bankrupt. Have the day you voted for. Oh, we want the names of the board members for the Kennedy Center. Hooray, MAGA farmers are going broke. Anti-American. They want the country to fail. Here the headlines are screaming. ABC, of course. Trump administration suggests Kennedy Center could be demolished if court blocks renovations. Trump suggests Kennedy Center could be demolished. One of the board members said that. If we don't do renovations, it's got structural issues. But it's all Trump's fault. What's this one now? Trump finally has the upper hand in Iran. Here's the third post by The Telegraph that is positive toward Trump. Remember me pointing that out? I said, this is weird. I used to call him teletrash. But the next post they put up is 6 months into the Iran conflict. David Blair looks at how the U.S. president's financial offensive is squeezing Iran's economy and whether he can turn that leverage into a deal. But what does Trump actually want Iran to concede? Trump finally has the upper hand. It's a positive article. I don't know what's going on with the Telegraph. Midas trash, which will never change. But they showed at least a partially decent picture of Trump. What are they working on? Iran says it. Trump says Iran is completely collapsing, but it feels more like projection as U.S. forces are stretched thin. Energy and economic warnings are flashing. Where the hell are you living? And his trade war with Canada is escalating. Here's what you need to know. They're just drooling for failure for America. They're drooling for it. But I checked oil this morning. Here it is. It lost about $5 going down. But the media is doing everything they can to paint a negative picture. Trump put this up. Now listen, what is wrong with these so-called progressives? Over the last 10 years, the United States lost on average, listen to this, folks, $60 billion a year with Canada. no more. What other country did he just talk about? And how much did he say we were losing per year with another country? Just 2 countries. How much we're losing per year. Who remembers? In the chats. Because between Canada and this other country, we lose $100 billion a year. $100 billion a year from 2 countries. And in 10 years, that's $1 trillion. I think we lose more than that with Mexico, Miss Mendersu. The country Trump was talking about, he said, we don't need your watches. You're the elites. Davos. Remember, folks, Davos, Switzerland. He said, with a stroke of my pen, I'll end your $40 billion a year you're taking from us. All you give us is watches. So imagine, if you take all the countries into account, how much money we are losing every year. Switzerland, 40 billion. Canada, 60 billion. 100 billion right there. 2 peanut countries. Think of what else we're losing with the EU, the UK, China, Mexico. They're funneling. It's amazing we survived as long as we have. Wake up. And it's proposed launching negotiations to extend the roam like at home policy, which currently allows free roaming in the EU, Iceland, Liechtenstein, Norway, Moldova, and Ukraine to Albania, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Kosovo, Montenegro, North Macedonia, and Serbia. Just roam everywhere you want. Destroying your national identities. Letting your countries be overrun by third world savages. I don't give a damn who doesn't like that term. That's what it is. You know, who is this malcontent? Who is this guy that should be in handcuffs right now? Who is Larry Krasner? Who the hell is he? Larry Krasner fantasizes about the White House ballroom being blown up. Why? Who would have a problem with a couple of U.S. Marshals coming up and getting him by the elbows and taking him and putting him in jail? I wouldn't have a damn problem with it. Well, let me hear what he says first.
And I'm going to have a paperweight sitting on my desk. You know what that paperweight's going to be? It's going to be a piece of the ballroom after we all blow it up. That's what it's going to be. In an official ceremony, just so we're clear, in an official ceremony, we're going to blow it up, and we're going to give the taxpayers their money back by selling all the pieces as paperweights, and I will have one on my desk.
I'd cuss him to like there was no tomorrow. I'd call him everything but a Christian. But he's going to sell paperweights when he blows up a military facility at the White House. Quit playing games with these damn people. They're making threats. They're inciting violence. Little words. We're going to do an official ceremony. Chris Coons declares America no longer leader of the free world. crowns Zelensky instead. Well, something's getting ready to pop off over there in Ukraine with these investigations going on and Ratcliffe going to see his counterpart in Russia.
I would say we are no longer the leaders of the free world. In fact, if anything, Volodymyr Zelensky is the primary national leader who is putting his country's men and women on the line for freedom, and we need to earn our place back as leader of the free world in the future.
You idiot. Trump is leading the way, okay? On every front. What's this guy's name? Senator Chris Coons. What an idiot. Zelensky running around in his little monkey suit. That's what my mom used to call my uniform. Put on your monkey suit. Anyway. Here, let's have a laugh. Watch out, Roland. Trump threatens military action to take control of Canada's maple syrup supply. You gotta have a little laugh once in a while. Now they're having a fit over this. Good, have a fit. I like it when y'all have fits. The United States is given serious consideration to changing the name of Lake Ontario to Lake America, in that we don't expect to doing much business with Ontario any longer. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. There you go. Lake America. There, Trump put a picture of it. In case anybody wonder what it would look like. Right there off of New York City. Well, the state of New York. That's that upstate? I don't know. Trump posted this. Out of moolah. U.S. pushes world to deal final economic blow to broke Iran. Trump put up the failing Islamic Republic of Iran is not paying large segments of their military, while at the same time killing protesters even when they are not protesting at levels not seen before. It is a humanitarian crisis of epic proportions and must be stopped now. President Donald J. Trump. Where's the outrage from all the people who want to protect women? Where's that one post Trump put up? Oh, gosh, stuff moves around so much. But anyway, he put up another post about what they're doing in prisons with women, and it's awful. We're dealing with savages. Let me find it. Here it is. Trump also posted this. S3 actual abuse in Iranian prison surge during the ceasefire. One protester told the S3 actual abuse in Iranian prisons sharply rises during ceasefire. One protester told the media she was raped with a baton during interrogation. Another man attempted suicide after agents claimed they desecrated his wife's body. Human rights groups say at least 3,646 Iranians have been arrested since the war began, with internet shutdowns hiding the true scale. Where's all the women protesters that want to stick up for other women? Holy cow, my screen froze. Come on now. Oh, my screen, come on now. What is wrong? Well, let me get a second. Maybe it has to reset itself. Okay, come on now, screen. Oh, my. Let me see if my special effects work. Sometimes that breaks my screen loose. Kaboom! There we go. Come on, screen. Oh, my. Doesn't want to work. Uh-oh, my screen's froze, folks. Yeah, they grape women before they end it. Hi, Bill. Oops. Nice to see you, Bill. I don't know what's wrong with my screen. Oh, my goodness. I can't even go to my stories. My goodness. What am I going to do, folks? Can you all hear me good? I'm trying. I don't want to leave. Can you hear me? Sparky said, don't leave me. We need you. Oh, no. Can you all hear me? Five by five on hearing. Okay. Gary says, I'm good. All right. Audio 5 by 5. All right. I don't know what's going on my screen. I have no idea. Well, maybe it'll loosen up as I talk a little bit. Let me see what's going on in the chats. So anyway, do you all see the connection that I'm seeing with all the action that's going on? And how do you think this Khalid Sheikh Mohammed's trial date that's being set in 2 years from now, a year and how many, 10 months? Is that a red herring? I was going to tell you all a story about Dolly Parton that's attributed to her. Somebody asked her if dumb blonde jokes make her mad. Yeah, Ron, you're talking about Khalid. Should have been done more than 5 years ago. You think other people would be tried before Khalid Sheikh Mohammed? Yeah, they said, do you get mad about dumb blonde jokes? She said, no, because I ain't dumb. And then she said, I ain't blonde either. You know, I'm saying it was attributed to her. It's a funny joke. You're from Australia, Kim is. Okay. Let me see if my screen broke loose for me. Nope. It surely hadn't. I don't know what's causing a freeze like that. Let me try my special effects again. Here, I'll do this. Wait a minute. I'm going into my title. I'll try my special effects. Here we go. Boom. And let me try some. You're welcome. I just wish I could get into my studio, but my screen's frozen. My screen's frozen solid, but my special effects are working. Kapow, 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 kapow. But I mean, I can't sit here and set off bombs and. I can move my picture, but I can't bring anything else new in. I don't know what to do. Hi, Billy. You live in Chippewa Falls? Well, I was going to show you all a post that Donald Trump put up about people saying they're getting tired of things not happening. And it's a long post, but he put up a response to it of like 150 things he's gotten accomplished. I have no idea why my screen is frozen. I hadn't heard that, Roland. Who heard about us? Yeah, it's not business as usual. You can't be a panicking. Yeah, I had. Gary, I had another report where the mainstream media is putting out more warnings, saying that Trump is going to declare a national emergency. And they're not talking about canceling the elections. They're saying that he's going to take military control. Which they're characterizing supervision of elections with a military takeover. Now, can they do it with U.S. Marshals? Can they do it with ICE agents? And I want to ask you all this. Do you think the ruling by the Supreme Court on Trump's mail-in ballots business is going to help? Because, like I said, I don't even have a audience count on my screen anymore. I don't know what happened to it. Let me see if I can. Because I was saying that you go to these other sites and you get a heads up on their strategy, because they will brag about it. I'm kidding you not. It was over a month ago. I saw somebody post, who cares what he does with the post office? We got FedEx and UPS. They'll deliver ballots. I swear to you. I saw that in the comments. And let me tell you what my prediction is going to be. The Supreme Court said you don't need to get the ballots on the same day. They don't have to be postmarked the same day. The way they have it set up, you could show up with a burlap bag stuffed full of God knows what, papers from God knows where, on a rickshaw and dump them off. They don't have to be mailed. They don't have to use the post office. They've got states where ballot harvesting is legal under certain circumstances. They're gonna be so obvious about cheating. Well, that would mean if they make a national show out of it, where people aren't taken down on the internet for showing cheating, that when ABC, NBC, CBS actually report on the methods being used, and it's so egregious, then Trump would declare an insurrection. How would it look if he declared an emergency now when it looks like he's getting what he wants, which is regulations on how they're mailed out? But all they got to do is just say, we're not going to use the post office. We're going to use FedEx. We're going to use UPS. We're going to use private courier. We're going to have volunteers go and hand out ballots, deliver them like a courier. How do you show your ID on mail-in ballots? I'm alive. How do you show on one you mail in? California's got mail-in ballots. How do you show an ID? California's got a law that says if you ask for the ID, you're the one that goes to jail. I'm trying to see why I can't get into my studio. Let me try this. I'm afraid to try stuff because pushing buttons because I don't want to knock myself off a broadcast. I don't even know how long I've been up. I don't have my clock. I don't have my audience count. I don't have nothing. I can't. My screen's frozen solid. Yeah, Miss Minister talking about Washington State. They don't comply with squat. "20 states have ID laws." Yeah, they're the red states. That's where they cheat is, do they have it? I'm just reading the chats. So anyway, all right. I had a picture to show you of a Iran rocket launcher. About 2 hours before I went live, there was a report that a Kuwaiti ship got struck, and that 5 instances of ships being shot at in the Gulf. And I did not hear about a response or how much damage was done, but there's obviously a split in the government. Who wants to negotiate and who wants to keep on throwing rockets around. So that's happening right now. Have you all heard of anything about been an hour and a half? Oh, okay. I thought UPS was the only outfit that can be used for mail-in ballots, chain of custody. They don't even postmark them, Todd. That's the thing. There's no postmark. That happened in Georgia. That happened in Arizona. That happened in Michigan. That happened all over hell's half acre. They're just envelopes. There's no stamp on them. Check next time you get your mail. Look, see one's got a postmark. They don't do that anymore. You get letters with no postmark. How the hell you know it even went through the post office? Well, I got to learn. It's got a square box on it that says penalty for private use, but no date. No, they used to stamp it and it would have a number on there, what post office it got stamped at, and the date. How many of y'all remember? They don't do that anymore. They can. How many times do you remember seeing the postmistress or the postman sitting there stamping? Stamp, 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 putting their official stamp on it. Come on, screen. They don't even bother Sam. I had a good closeout video. All right, I'll try this. All right. All right. Here we go. Hey. Look at there. How many times have you seen this stupid picture? Sick of looking at it. Judge rejects Ghislaine Maxwell's attempt to overturn conviction. Aw, poor thing. A federal judge in New York on Tuesday rejected Ghislaine Maxwell's challenge to her conviction, finding all of her claims meritless or frivolous. Maxwell was trying to vacate her conviction and a 20-year prison sentence. She was convicted of 5 felony counts arising from her participation with notorious P3DO file Jeffrey Epstein. What grounds would they reverse it? What could you possibly think of? Let me find that post that Trump put up. It's got a wordy dirt in it. But Donald Trump posted this. Hold on a second. It's by Matt Van Swoll. I don't think the GOP fully grasps how badly they are effing up right now. I'm talking to the people who normally have zero interest in politics, who are legitimately PO'd. They're not seeing the major reform they thought would happen and are really mad about it. No true accountability, no true mass deportations, no meaningful decrease in the deficit, lots of very long vacations and no work, no bills being passed that reduce government involvement in their lives. I'm very worried that the GOP is sleepwalking toward a midterm reckoning they don't see coming. People are PO'd that they voted for Trump into office, and the GOP continues to slow walk every reform people want. Where are all the Doge cuts that were promised? Where's the SAVE Act? Why haven't we defunded the Taliban yet? Why are bills passing the House and then disappear in the Senate? Why are the GOP still funding left-wing NGOs that target, hate MAGA Republicans? Why are members of the GOP pushing for mass amnesty instead of mass deportations? People are waking up and they aren't happy about it. People believe that they were going to vote for the Trump agenda. Instead, many feel like they're getting the same old Washington. If Republicans in Congress don't start producing tangible results, they're going to discover that frustration has consequences. And by the time they realize how deep-seated the frustration is, it may be already too late. Well, he meant to say deep-seated, like S-E-A-T-E-D. But he said seeded, like you see the Johnny Appleseed. I don't know. But anyway, Trump put up a response, and I can't read it all. I just can't. But, I mean, look at these points. It's not numbered. Fine, I made the list. It's still growing. If you want to get screenshots of it, just read it at your leisure. Trump 2.0 accomplishments as of mid-July. Laken Riley Act, fentanyl trafficking, record low border encounters. And here we go, gas under $3. I mean, $5 trillion in deregulation savings, $250 billion government efficiency cuts, $13.35 per taxpayer, $10 trillion in reshored domestic. Donald Trump reposted this response. Nicholas Maduro being captured. And that's page one. What's the old saying? Rome wasn't built in a day. Transgender enlistment bar, DEI eliminated, Doge, bureaucracy cuts, MAHA reforms, on down the line. John Bolton arrested and pleaded, James Comey arrested, John Brennan under investigation, probably facing grand jury, Russiagate grand jury set up and running in Florida. DOJ, DNI seized Fulton County 2020 ballots. Trump is still working on plans B, C, D, etc., with new integrity announcement schedules as soon as tomorrow night. I'm talking about Iran. Here's a picture. Besant, Iran leaders panicking. Trump vows to sever economic lifelines. Iran's leadership is already panicking under Donald Trump's mounting economic offensive. Look at this lineup here. Look at the one second to the end on the right. Covering his eyes. He's like, what am I doing here? This lunatic military and lunatic mullahs. That's exactly what he's thinking. Why would they publish a photo with the guy standing there with his hands over on his eyes like, oh my God, what am I doing here? Man, that was a... Well, let me see this one. This earlier. That's why I'm saying I'm surprised I got up tonight. This is the video I played last night. TikTok removes Spencer Pratt video. Okay? And I played it night before last. And like I'm saying, I'm surprised I got up this evening. And it can happen any day. You see what this is. Holy cow. Oh, it's That's Dolly Parton's nephew announcing her passing. Anyway, folks, this is I was going to talk about ICE and Chicago and Pritzker and these judges and all that, but my like list coming. You're buffering again. Arrest sounds fine, but everyone wants to see imprisonment. Yes, I know. They're watching me like a hawk. That's true. Has anybody found anything in their house that has a postmark on it? Good luck with that. You know, they're holding up Trump's pick for ICE director. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and play this little report here. Pritzker jokes about chaos in Chicago. I don't know where everybody went. I guess while my screen was frozen, I mean, like 50 people left. So they didn't come back. But I got my regular crowd hanging in with me. So anyway, I'm going to play this clip. And I will be going live tomorrow night. So well, who knows, right? Hopefully nothing bad will happen. If everything goes well, I will be going live tomorrow night. And again, I want to thank everybody who went by buy me a coffee. I'm putting a link in the chats. We're at the hour 50 mark. So anyway, I'm going to play this clip. And I'm going to try to get up early tomorrow night. I don't know. We'll see. So look for me anytime between 9:30 and 10. And every time I say that, things are cracking and happening, and I can't get the studio ready. I subscribe, you'll know when I go live. Ha, ha, ha. So why don't you go ahead and do that? And don't forget to give a thumbs up. So anyway, I always say thank you for spending your precious time with me. And I hope you find this clip informative. And I'll be seeing you soon. This is Mountain Man, over and out.
You know, Director Lyons, I saw something that startled me. That was ICE arresting an Indian national, an illegal alien operating an 18-wheeler in Oklahoma. And you can see on your screen now, he was carrying a New York State-issued commercial driver's license. It could also be used as a real ID. His first name was listed as, quote, no name given. That's literally a real ID he was arrested with. Meanwhile, ICE has arrested at least 91 illegals operating commercial vehicles following that deadly crash back in August in Florida. That was also an Indian national. Fortunately, in this latest no-name case, no one lost their life, but this has got to give a lot of pause and concern for people that we have a lot of illegal aliens out there that shouldn't be behind commercial vehicles.
Yeah, it's really scary, Griff. And, like you said, to see that on a driver's license issue, a real ID star right up there in the corner. I don't know about you all, but it was like going through a security clearance for me to get my real ID. So I can't believe that we're giving illegal aliens who have no right to be here these driver's licenses. You have these sanctuary states that want to go ahead and try to just make it welcoming for these people that we don't know who they are. And again, these are CDL licenses. These people are transporting hazardous goods, materials at times. And in some cases, we don't know exactly what they're doing. And look how many American citizens have lost their lives because of individuals like that have these driver's licenses. Homeland Security Investigations is dedicated to working with the other state police departments and our other federal agencies to make sure we get these IDs off the street and arrest these criminal aliens.